Chosen by light. I'm your girl Sid, and we're here for another video. Yes, video. Hey, you guys, welcome back to the channel. You guys, I am so happy to be here, as always, feeling blessed and grateful for today. But you guys know what? As you can tell by the title, today's a little different, okay? I was really feeling drawn to talk about relationships, okay? I know it's something my husband and I have been talking about lately. It's also something that I'm constantly thinking about. I always feel like I'm a great therapist. I also feel like I'm a really good relationship therapist. And you know, a lot of it is because I feel like I've lived so many different lives within such a small amount of time. I mean, from alcoholism to drugs to twin flames to soulmates to past life part, like just so many things, right? And because of these things, I've developed like the ability to see beyond the veil, to see beyond what I'm presented, right? And it's really important. I'm able to do this because of one thing, okay? A lot of people think that communication is the most important aspect of a relationship, right? But me, I beg to differ, and I've been saying this actually for quite a few years. I actually had arguments with other men about this concept, and again, I feel like that argument in its own was a prime example of what I feel like is the number one concept or the number one aspect of a relationship. I don't want to say aspect, but I want to say one of the keys to a successful relationship, okay? And not even a successful relationship, we can also relate this into life, and this is also a really good key to just be more abundant in life, okay? To feel more happiness and joy in life. If that's something that you're striving for, then this key will really help you, because it's something that is only within, right? And it's something that you can't look for. It's something that you tell yourself. It's a relationship within your mind and yourself, okay? And it's a projection of what you're feeling and what you're telling yourself, okay? And the concept is, I know you guys are like, what is it, Sydney? What is it? And it's, you guys, it's really simple. It's understanding. Okay, like I said, a lot of people think it's communication, but two people could be communicating their points across, right? But if there isn't a level of understanding, remember, I feel like this is the problem. A lot of people debate and argue because they're trying to force their opinion and their will onto someone else. So they're not, a lot of time they're trying to convince a person, right? Most people, when they argue, they try to convince, right? But the thing is, this convincing will not work if no one has understanding, okay? I kid you not, like my friends who are really close to me, who I talk to about like things that I'm going through, because I too need someone. And it's so funny because the person that I go to, it's so ironic, I just noticed this today, is a Aquarius, right? And I'm a Cancer. And so it's so funny that she's a water bearer, and I go to her for insight, for like if I like, it's, I swear sometimes I get chaotic in my own mind, and I get because I'm a water sign, I get very emotional, and I just like switch like a light, okay, right? But like I switch, and I go to my Aquarius, and she just like pours love and light into me. It's really beautiful. But back to what I was saying is understanding is so important, because and that's what my point of saying that is, because it sometimes, well, not sometimes, all the times makes you sometimes even see, you know, your own faults. Like it's crazy. Like I was telling you, I sometimes am guilty of, and this is a good thing, that if me and my husband have a problem, I will express the problem, and then somehow in there I always find a level of understanding, always, because I have unconditional love for my husband, right? And that level of understanding, I always find like a common ground. I always find a way to see where I could have come better, where I could have, you know, and not even where I could do better. because sometimes it's about understanding his perspective, right? And showing him that grace and say, okay, I can take myself out of my feelings and I can see it totally from his perspective. And sometimes, we always have the will to be right, but having the will to be right is not going to make you right? It's about understanding, because because of that, we don't hold on to problems for long, because my husband has that level of understanding for me. He knows how I am. He knows I'm very emotional. So if I'm mean to him, if I start pouting, if I act distant, if I'm short, with my words, there's a level of understanding, because he's like, okay, I'm not going to take it personal, even though he does take it personal. We all take it personal, right? But it only can last so long. Our immediate reaction to someone who we love, who's mad at us, is how can I make them feel better, right? But sometimes, I don't know if it's just me. I can only speak from my experience, but I know personally, I don't always move on as quick as I should, okay? I know my husband, he's really good. He's actually has taught me how to love. A lot of my major lessons have come from being with him, because he has shown me such a ultimate level of unconditional love. It has re-taught me, okay, I like to say re-taught me how to love, how to express love, what love looks like, because the love that I knew and the love that I experienced was hurtful. It was different things, it was different experiences. But for me to be with someone who accepts me for who I am, it allows me to love differently. Okay. And that starts with understanding, because is my husband perfect? No. Am I perfect? No. Are we perfect for each other? I would say yes. He may say yes, but I'm pretty sure he would probably like me to be taller. I can imagine what his perfect person would look like. I imagine I'm not that person, but I'm the closest to what he needed, what he realized was a perfect fit for his life, and vice versa, right? And when we talk about understanding, you guys, I really want to paint the picture that it does not only change your relationships with other people, but it changes it changes you. I'm able to pull myself out of situations that are toxic for me, are draining, because I'm human. And I'm able to pull myself out of these situations because of having a level of understanding. And I feel like when we're dealing with karmics, when we're dealing with past life partners, when we're dealing with those people, we really have to reach really deep within ourselves to find that understanding, right? Because it's hard, because those moments are really going to promote the most growth within you, right? And because it promotes the most growth, it's gonna be a high pressure situation, okay? And you guys, this is the point of my channel. I don't know if you guys probably do notice, there's not a lot of drama in my readings. My readings are meant to promote personal growth, okay? I don't like to focus on the problem on the physical problem, right? I like to focus on the spiritual problem. So because once you fix within here, everything in your outer world will fall into place. And that's what manifestation is about. That's what balance is about, right? When you can control your emotions, right? Or not even control them, but manipulate them in the way where they're beneficial for you, right? That's what we're talking about. And I wanted to talk about a few things. So I wanted to talk about the importance of I really want to express this very extensively in regards to how important understanding is how important and understanding is in terms of a relationship, okay? Because understanding in a relationship, it is the key to longevity, okay? Because people change, your lives change, okay? I was just telling my husband, honey, within these next 10 years, what is that going to look like for you? What are you going because remember, the 10 years previous doesn't have to be the same. And I reminded him, remember when you were a teen to your 20s, how dramatic that change was. And from your 20s to the 30s, how dramatic that change was. So I said this to him because I felt like he he didn't realize how unintentionally he was manifesting his life and how he was moving. And I want him to be more in tune with the next step, right? This next 10 years. And with that, I have to have a level of understanding on what that looks like for my husband, because I have to be willing to promote him, to love him, to uplift him, and to support him, no matter what that looks like. And the reason why I say this is because, to me, I feel like a lot of us lose sight of wanting our partners to also be happy. Like, to me, my husband's happiness is important to me. I want him to feel fulfilled in his life, and same for me. I want to be fulfilled. And so because of that, I expect him to support me in things that are going to be fulfilling to me. Okay. And this again this asks for understanding from their significant others, or from our significant others. And I just wanted to just talk about this a little bit, because again, I feel like there's this huge narrative out there that communication is number one. No, that's not right. No, because we can talk back and forth all day, but if at least one person doesn't stop and say, I understand where you're coming from. I may not agree with it, but I see your perspective. Those words and that confirmation of understanding is so important, because again, when we argue, we're trying to get our point across, right? So when someone is able to process what we're saying and give you the confirmation of, oh yeah, okay, I see that, I can see that, I can see how you got it that way. And because you guys, a lot of times I feel like this is not completely true, but I feel like a lot of times some things can be misunderstandings. I feel like sorry, I thought I seen something weird. What was I gonna say? I'm sorry. A lot of things misunderstanding. No. I feel like a lot of the time and I'm speaking to, and I feel like this is for women and men, okay? But I feel like a lot of time we look at a logical approach to everything, right? Not logical, but sometimes what I'm trying to say is, you guys, I know what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to figure out how I can make it more simple, but let me say it how I want to say it, and let's see what happens after that, okay? But what I'm saying is, we sometimes judge situations without having an understanding for our partner, and it could ruin relationships that could have potentially been successful, okay? Whether it's, oh, my person was too sensitive, or my person was too possessive, or my person, or so certain things. I know some of those things can be very low vibrational, but sometimes there's people who have those characteristics and is not low vibrational. Sometimes that person is like that because of something they've been through. And maybe if you were able to have that level of understanding, maybe that person was good on, like, had all the checks, right? But maybe those one or two things didn't make the mark. Seeing, okay, why is this person like this? Having a level of understanding could really help, promote healthy relationships, or relationships that maybe wouldn't necessarily last a long time, because maybe someone's like, I don't like this, or I don't like that. But having that level of understanding, like, for maybe a person may not want to be as intimate, but maybe something happened in their childhood, or just anything. Maybe they have some sort of trauma. So having that level of understanding is just so important, because what if that person can potentially be like the best lover of your life, right? What if that, like, you can make that person feel ways they've never felt before, right? But it's just like having that level of understanding and being willing to walk the path with people, because I feel like a lot of us walk the path with people, and I don't like to say this, because I feel like, okay, see, that's going to be another story. So I'm not going to talk about that, because, see, I feel like that's a whole nother topic in regards to, like, starting a path with someone and, making an early decision. Okay, is this someone I need to be with, or someone I don't need to be with? Because I'm seeing, if you're with someone for greater than a year, you should know whether or not that person's for you. I feel like most women know when they first talk to a man if they like them like that or if they don't like them like that, right? And I feel like sometimes as women, we don't like someone like that, but because they're entertaining and because they're maybe even consistent, we will grow more fond of them. And sometimes there's not even like that connection there or that chemistry or, you know, like, or that attraction. And sometimes we fall into those, you know, those spaces. So I just want to say, but that's a whole, like I said, that's a whole nother category, right? So just really sticking to like understanding, you know, just and understanding how, like, you know, how that could affect like the love aspect of the relationship, the finance aspect, the communication aspect. It's like it touches on everything, right? And it's just, I just wanted to put that out there because I noticed as a collective we are going through a lot of changes, and I feel like part of those changes is growing, you know, an understanding for our journey and who we are and our experiences, right? And I feel like it's really important to illuminate those and to really allow you guys to focus on that for a little bit, because understanding, I feel like, is so underrated, and it's really everything, okay? It's really everything for a relationship, for every aspect of yourself, because it gives you a level of peace. Because for instance, let me give you guys an example. What is something I am understanding of myself of? There's so many things I'm like, OMG. But it's okay. I can be transparent with you guys. So like one thing that I have to have understanding for myself is with school, okay? I feel like I'm like one of those people where because I'm a Cancer, so I'm all about the home life, and that's like really true to me. Like I'm one of those people, I really don't care about like everything. Like I don't care about going to concerts. I don't care about like, you know, like stuff like musicians, actors. I don't care about those things. I just simply don't. I think I care more about like the future and my household and, you know, animals and maybe like looking at myself. Like I don't know. It's like I'm not into, like I'm more into like spirituality stuff than I am into like, I don't know, a lot more in the world. I'd rather go camping than, well, I don't know. I don't know. I've never been to a spa, so I can't say I'd rather go to the camping than spa because I've never been. But I probably would be awkward because just sitting there so still. But anyway, it's like like I said, so school is my thing, right? Where I put a lot of like, I have a lot of goals with school, okay? But with that, I feel like since I've gone to school, I've learned new things. And I'm like, well, maybe I'm interested in that. And maybe I'm interested in that. So it's about like, you know, just having that little understanding, like, Sydney, you're human. And, you know, it's okay to, you know, change your path if that's what you truly want. Because it's okay. Like, if you didn't know about something and you gain new knowledge, it's okay to go after that. But it's about just having that, like for me, I just have to have that level of understanding for myself that I'm human, and that, you know, just because I switch something doesn't mean I don't see things through. It just means that I found new knowledge, and I'm just going to go after what it is that I want. Like, you know, I don't want to put myself in a category as someone who doesn't finish things, because it's like I have finished a lot of things. Like, what are you talking about? Like, a lot of times I've been the first to do things, you know what I mean? And I realized that about myself too. Like, Sydney, like, your last name's first, boom. And then like you've also like first child, first grandchild, first great grandchild. Like, I'm the first of a lot of things, you know, like just, I mean, and even more than that, like, so it's like, Sid, like, don't be so hard on yourself, right? And it's like having that level of understanding, like, Sydney, this is a journey, you know, and I'm always constantly trying to be better. Like, sometimes I'm vegetarian, sometimes I'm not, you know, or like, you know, it's just like one of those things I'm always just trying to figure out. But so this has been coming out to me, so I'm going to read it, okay? It says, your thought needs some refocusing, okay? This is a reminder that you are a spiritual being having a human experience, okay? Reconnect with your spirituality for some of you, okay? That's what I'm saying.